this historic legislation is about rebuilding the backbone of this country and giving people in this nation, working people, middle-class folks, people who built the country, a fighting chance.
So here we go with the message now promoting COVID relief signed into law yesterday. Biden says that the historic spending plan, as other policies, will fundamentally transform America. Our next guest is asking the question, what's wrong with America in the first place? Well, Larry Kudlow, good question on Fox Business, 4 o'clock Eastern every day. How you doing, Larry? Welcome to our program here, and a happy Friday to you. What do you think this COVID relief bill is going to do for America?
Thanks, Martha. I think it's a very poorly crafted bill. It should have been a bipartisan bill, would have made it better. But look, one of the many flaws in that bill is it would constitute the largest expansion in the U.S. welfare state in, 55 or 60 years, going all the way back to LBJ's Great Society in 1965. There are numerous provisions in there that would provide assistance through spending or tax credits with no work requirements whatsoever. And the really sad part of this, and this is the part of the transformation that I do not want. I don't want central planning. I want to have individual and plenty of incentives to work. Bill Clinton, Democrat, Newt Gingrich, Republican, 20 years ago, 1995 or 6, they crafted the best welfare reform bill, which emphasized work requirements. It provided relief so long as you work across the board. And despite dire prediction of poverty, it was the reverse. It worked. We had a booming economy. We had more people employed, and poverty actually declined. What Mr. Biden's bill does here is the exact reverse. It unwinds that, and I fear over time this will transform America. This is one of many items that bugs me. Over time into a real top-down, central planning, welfare statist economy, worse than Europe ever was.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting, Larry. A piece in the New York Times today calls it the sweeping reforms to the social safety net. And points out that it's very intentional that there's only 9 or 10% in COVID relief here. The rest of it has been orchestrated since the Biden campaign, and it points out the stops that he made at in Georgia, different FDR hallmark places along the way, because he wanted to equate himself with FDR. He wanted to create this transformation of American society. So, this is not a COVID bill. This is a transforming America bill, and
yes.
the proponents of it say it's going to reduce poverty in America by 1/3. Do you believe that? Do you think that's true?
I do not, Martha. All right. I absolutely do not. There are so many disincentives to work. In so many places in this bill, the government assistance, and by the way, tax exemptions government assistance, means, frankly, up to $150,000 or $170,000 a year. It pays more to not work than to work. That is a fundamental issue. And this is really far left stuff, because most economists, most social analysts don't want this sort of thing. I mean, there's almost been a consensus down through the years, again, harking back to the great bipartisan coalition of Bill Clinton and Newt Gingrich, and it served this country well. I don't want central planning. I don't want Uncle Sam to run the healthcare system. I don't want to enlarge the welfare state. I don't want to raise taxes and destroy carbon fuels and fossil fuels. I don't want to punish success. I want to reward success. I think free enterprise beats government planners every day of the year. That's what history proves. I don't want to end our history, and I don't want to end our culture. I want to stay with our Judeo-Christian culture. There's a story we covered yesterday in a fancy New York City private school. You're not allowed to use the words mom and dad.
Yeah.
Huh? I don't want any of that stuff. Now, we can improve America. We can improve America because of our great democracy, and we always move forward with prosperity and security and health. But this is wrong, and Biden did not run on this. I know he talked about FDR. I get that, but really, if you go back, folks, go back to the South Carolina primary, which he won and closed out Bernie Sanders. He ran as a moderate.
Moderate
Mr.
Democrat.
Clyburn, James Clyburn, who engineered that, they sold him as a moderate and a, quote, unity candidate. We have seen none of that. And I will tell
Larry?
you, I like America just as it is.
A quote from last night. We were hit with a virus that was met with silence and spread unchecked. Denials for days, weeks, then months. I thought he was talking about Beijing, but apparently he was talking about you and the guys at the White House. We are watching on Fox Business today at 4 o'clock, Larry. Thanks for being on today.